Hi there everybody, this is David, and 2024 has been a year for the ages. There have definitely been some bangers this year, games that we've all heard about, like Fables of Mana, Final Fantasy VII Rebirth, Metaphor, and Dragon Quest III. But, in addition to all those great games, there's been a lot of other games that kind of flew under the radar. Some underrated games out there, and today I want to tell you all about them. And I do think that's worth a sub, as I do try my hardest to hit 100,000 subscribers. With your help, your like, and your sub, I just know that I can get there. So thank you so much for helping me out with that. And now, I don't want to talk about the big boys of this year. I want to talk about the underrated games. 20 of them. Let's go. First up, we have Elantaros Wanderings. This is a charming but overlooked gem, and it blends classic roguelike open-ended exploration as well as an adventure, along with a whimsical dual-world narrative. Here, you'll be immersed into a lush world filled with interactive environments and meaningful choices. Its mix of puzzles and narrative depth does make it a standout, but its niche appeal has definitely still kept it under the radar. Next up at number 2, Goblin Slayer Another Adventure Nightmare Feast. This here is a strategic spin-off of the Goblin Slayer anime where you engage in intense tactical battles along with some dark storytelling and challenging gameplay. Providing deeper insights into the world and characters of the anime ensures that fans of the franchise will appreciate it, though personally, I really just loved it for its Final Fantasy Tactics-like battle system. Number 3, Beloved Rapture. This is a deeply emotional indie RPG that combines nostalgic 16-bit aesthetics with modern storytelling techniques. Its nuanced characters and heartfelt plot are complemented by a stellar soundtrack with turn-based combat and great areas to explore. This is a criminally underrated game and a testament to the power of indie RPGs that evoke both nostalgia and innovation. Number 4, The Secret of Varonis. The Final Fantasy Legend games were just some of my favorite RPGs growing up with the original Game Boy, and this here takes the best aspects of all three of them and combines them together into one riveting masterpiece. With multiple worlds to explore, a great storyline, and saga-based combat, this here is a winner. Number 5, Romancing Saga 2, Revenge of the Seven. The Saga series has always been known for its unconventionality, and some people do love that, but it seems like most people actually hate it. This remake retains the unique Saga style, but it makes it so much more user-friendly. It's as if you're playing a brand new classic Final Fantasy game rather than a Saga game, and I hope that all future Saga games do follow this style. Number 6, Fairy Tail 2. This is a sequel that improves upon its predecessor, and it expands the magical world with more vibrant characters, engaging combat, and an enchanting story. And while it was advertised as an action RPG, it's really not. This is definitely turn-based. It is great to see an RPG based upon an anime actually be good and not a dumpster fire every once in a while. Number 7, Fantasian. From the creator of Final Fantasy, this is a diorama-based RPG with breathtaking visuals and a classic story. With innovative combat mechanics involving positioning and arching attacks and things like that, not to mention all the pedigree behind it, it is nice that it's finally left the Apple Arcade so that more people can appreciate this blend of traditional RPG elements along with modern designs. Number 8, Grand Blue Fantasy Relink. This game seriously has some of the hottest guys I've ever seen in my entire life. Buy it just for that! I personally made up a harem party of nothing but sexy-ass men with their rock-hard abs out, men who constantly scratched their dumb little heads and showed off their pits, men with their gorgeous blonde locks of hair, and massive muscle men ready to throw down their lives just for me. Oh, and I guess it also has some women too, you know, if you're into that sort of thing. Number 9, Dream Tactics. Another indie, another hidden gem. The beautiful pastel, ethereal art style will whisk you away into another world, where deck building combines with tactical combat, creating a fresh and addictive gameplay experience. The charming art style and innovative mechanics definitely deserve more attention in the strategy game scene. Number 10, Saga Emerald Beyond. This here is the latest new entry in the Saga series, and it also may very well be the last Saga game that goes for kind of like that board game style. Number 1, because of the success of Romancing Saga 2 Remake, and number 2, because the developer himself said that he wanted the game to become more mainstream. That being said, its complexity and unique approach are its greatest strengths, so check it out if you did love Romancing Saga 2. Number 11, Megaton Musashi W Wired. Level 5, I love ya, but you've gotta up your marketing game. They make some of the best RPGs out there, but nobody ever hears about them. Full disclosure, I couldn't even figure out how to go about requesting a key for this game in order to review it. So I went ahead and I bought it, and I'm glad that I did, because it was one of the best gaming experiences of the year for me. Number 12, Baten Kaitos 1 and 2 Remastered. I love these games back on the GameCube, and these remastered versions breathe new life into the unique card-based battle systems and lush world. With tons of quality of life improvements, such as being able to turn off encounters, this is just great. It's just too bad that they ripped out the, admittedly terrible English voice acting. I just don't see what the purpose of that was, at least leave the option in. Number 13, Joan of Arc. Another level 5 classic, this PSP banger was ported on over to the PS5, and it mixes historical fantasy with tactical RPG gameplay. I'm a big ol' history dork. I mean, that was my major in college after all, so I was captivated by its story and polished mechanics. It's really a genre standout, and it deserves as much praise as something like Final Fantasy Tactics, really. Number 14, Beyond Galaxyland. I really loved this one. It reminded me a lot of the Phantasy Star series, where you commandeer a spaceship and kind of go planet hopping, but in a more open world type of fashion, because each planet has its own level range, so you can really go wherever you want to, whenever you want to, as you engage in turn-based combat and try to find your way back home to Earth. Number 15, Bloomtown: A Different Story. This indie RPG blends cozy aesthetics with dark undertones, giving off Earthbound vibes, and here you'll solve small-town mysteries before diving into the dark underbelly of the world and engage in tactical combat. I've gotta say, many indies go unappreciated, and most of them definitely deserve a broader audience, so I do my best here to let y'all know about them, including this and the next one, number 16, Flowstone Saga. This could very well be the most unique RPG that I played all year, as it turns the typical RPG formula on its head by integrating Tetris-like puzzles into its battles. The storyline's humorous and the pixel art is great, but it's really the innovative gameplay style that makes it such a refreshing and underrated experience. Number 17, Ys 10 Nordics. I'm honestly kind of loath to include this game in the list, because it is the 10th entry into this long-running series, but it's still so underrated. What in the world does Adol have to do to get the respect that he deserves as the great granddaddy of action RPGs? Maybe he just has to team up with a bitchy murderous pirate, steal a ship, and sail off into the sunset, which he does do here. Number 18, Phantom Brave: The Bermuda Triangle Remastered. Here we have a remaster of the PS2 classic Phantom Brave, which I adored back in the day, and this here does not play like any other typical strategy RPG that you've ever played. First of all, rather than moving in a grid, you kind of move in a circle like Growlancer, and then you summon your companions by fusing them with objects and imbuing them with stat bonuses. This is a seriously unique take on the genre. Number 19, Metal Slug Tactics. This is strange. It would be if Contra or something went strategy RPG, but that's a good thing, because it works. This here retains the franchise's charm while adding depth. I mean, it's definitely a bold genre shift, with a kind of Final Fantasy Tactics type of gameplay, instead of the typical run and gun of Metal Slug. But I love RPGs, and I love games like this, so this here was a shoo-in for me. It's just too bad that more people didn't get to experience it too. And number 20, Scarmond. I grew up on the NES, and I don't need a lot of bells and whistles to enjoy a game. I just need good gameplay, great dungeon design, world maps, and tons of treasures to find, and classes to fool around with. And this game definitely has all of that in spades. And while it might look kind of basic on the surface, I promise you, give this one a chance and you will love it. So that's it for the 20 best underrated games of 2024. And now I want to hear from you. What games did you think were underrated that you played this year? Let me know in the comments, and let's all talk and chat about it. And if you like this video, there's another video that I really do think that you're going to enjoy, so please do be sure to check that one out. And as always, please be sure to like, comment, and subscribe, and have a good day.